What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Wave of the World podcast. My podcast serves as entertainment only, as well as worldly insight to the lives of everyday people creating their own narratives. We discuss various topics ranging from current news to personal one-on-one interviews with some of the friends that I find interesting. Everybody has a story, and I'm ready to hear yours. And today with me, I have my beautiful Latino friend,
What's up, everybody?
Monica Galindo.
Yes, that's me.
How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm a little bit nervous. I've never done a podcast, so I'm excited to be here. But I'm ready to get the ball rolling.
I feel like you have a lot to say, though.
I feel like I always do.
So first, I'd like you to introduce yourself. I already know I said Latino instead of Latina.
Okay.
Introduce yourself to the people
like,
that
hello.
aren't that aren't familiar with you.
Yeah, so my name is Monica Galindo. And yeah, I'm Hispanic. I live in Nashville, Tennessee. I don't know. I feel like I wasn't prepared for this. I like fries. My favorite color is black. So I'm actually in school. I'm a student right now. I'm studying psychology, and I'm just like working and like living life right now. So yeah, I mean, I don't know.
What does your life consist of? Living life.
My life, honestly, is just like constantly figuring out my own, like, kind of who I am. And then also, like, so I'd spend a lot of time just with my own mind because my mind's always racing. And then also on top of that, just like I spend a lot of time with a lot of my friends. I have like roommates, so I spend time with them. I love spending time with my family. I also work with a nonprofit organization, so I kind of helping out with that and like organizing certain things, just like with finding resources and all that good stuff.
Okay.
Helping out friends and get to hang out with some kids, and that's always the best part. So.
What's the nonprofit, and what do you do specifically?
So the nonprofit, technically I don't necessarily work for them. So it's more of a volunteer work. So what I do, the organization's called Caring Hearts, and they go to like Mexico and they go and work with kids who are in orphanages. Most of these kids have been put in these orphanages because of like just horrible situations, like their parents selling them to get like drugs and stuff. And they recently paired up with the Dream Center, which is in West Nashville, to work with a community in West Nashville with, it's like a Hispanic community, and most of these people are immigrants. And so we're just helping provide like resources to get them back on their feet. But specifically what I do is I usually just go, and this kind of started off because of COVID and everything, but I go and help these kids with tutoring. We get to play with them. But how it started with COVID and everything was with, so, you know, they gave all these kids laptops. Everyone went to school remote, and it was just kind of like put on everyone. They didn't know if we needed kids to go back to school or not. And when they decided on giving them going back to school, they were like, okay, all these kids have to take these laptops home. And like a lot of these kids didn't speak English. And they didn't know how to navigate all of this stuff. And the kids that did, like, it was just kind of difficult. Or if they didn't, like, they don't know who to talk to. Like, their parents also, like, are constantly either working or they don't speak English, so they couldn't help them. And a lot of these kids were falling behind in school. And so whenever we found out about this, we kind of just started providing our services and trying to help as much as we could. And me being able to speak Spanish and, like, just, I don't know, not that I'm the best with computers, but, I mean, I was able to help them navigate with everything and like just try and help the kids stay on task.
Okay. That's super dope. I personally didn't know that, so I learned with y'all.
Yes.
So also, outside of the nonprofit that you work for, I guess.
Yeah.
What are you going to school for?
So I am studying psychology, and for a while I wasn't necessarily sure what I wanted to do with it. Fun fact, what I really wanted to do forever, just growing up, I was always really scared of it because I was really shy, but I always wanted to be like pursue art in some form, like either be a performer or something. So in high school, like I was doing theater and I loved it. And I thought that I was going to do that, but being a first generation, like Latina, like I can't, like I was not only that, but I'm also my mom's like eldest kid. I was just like, my parents were supportive, but at the same time, I know that like stability was always like kind of an issue, like financially, and like there was just not a lot of hope, and I wasn't educated enough to take that risk. So I ended up just kind of going towards psychology, but I also really liked it. I did take it as an alternative route, but once I got into it, I've like really started liking it. And I know that as far as who I am, I love taking care of other people, and it just comes very naturally to me. But now what I want to do is just like what I'm struggling with is like trying to figure out exactly what I want to like specify in. And I do work with kids. I kind of just get hesitant because I mean, like, if I want to do therapy and I have to sit with a kid in a room, I'm just nervous they're going to say something to me and I'm just going to like start crying. So there's that. But yeah.
Or they start crying.
Yeah, I'm going to be like, I don't know. No. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. But I'm still trying to figure it out. I don't know if I want to do like work with foster kids or if I want to go into like more family therapy or maybe even go towards research and not even do therapy at all. But I don't know. But,
Well, we're going to follow along with your story.
yeah.
Right now, we're going to jump into today's news topics. I feel like we should go ahead and start off, just because it happened today on the day that we're shooting. Derek Chauvin, the police officer who killed George Floyd, was guilty on 3 different counts of murder.
Yes, as he should.
The first one was second-degree unintentional murder without intent. The second charge was third-degree murder, perpetrating an act eminently dangerous to others and evincing a depraved mind without regard for human life. And the third charge, second-degree manslaughter, which is culpable negligence whereby the person creates an unreasonable risk and consciously takes chances of causing death or great bodily harm. So what are your thoughts?
I mean, that's honestly putting it into words. Like, that's what he did. Like, he created an unreasonable risk to someone's life and did cause somebody death. And right. It wasn't necessary. Like, he wasn't able to move. I mean, at the end of the day, like, this has been a long time coming, and I'm glad that there's justice being served. That's kind of how I feel about it. Like, I don't know, like, with the whole, like, what was this kid that just got shot not too long ago?
Dante, right?
Yeah. So with all of that, like, that happened so quickly. You know, she's getting charged and all
right.
that stuff. And, like, with this whole thing with George Floyd, I mean, it took forever. And,
it was almost a year ago.
Yeah. And it's just ridiculous. Like, it's honestly, I don't know. I'm just glad the family can, you know, put it to rest and, like, can feel like there's justice as served to them. And, you know, obviously, like, it sucks, but I don't know.
It does suck that something like this, or any of the many cases that have happened for people of color specifically.
Yeah.
Because we always see the other side of the majority being treated differently. I'll just put it that way.
Right.
To say it nicely. Yeah. They're, for the most part, they're always treated differently. Yeah. Like I'm pretty sure there was a kid that got arrested here who was like naked.
I have no idea.
And the cops took him to a Waffle House or Taco Bell or something.
Are you serious?
I'm 100% serious.
That's cool. He's like, oh, hey, buddy, it's okay. I mean, yeah. Okay, that's cool. But if we're going to do that, we might as well just treat everybody like that. You know, like, and this is another crazy story, speaking about, like, you know, just comparison. And this happened around the same time that George Floyd, like, all of this happening, literally a year ago. Which, side note, I know all this is horrible, but a great movement happened because of it, which is great. And right. I'm glad that, you know, like, there's been so many marches, like, despite COVID, so many people came together, which needed to happen. But what I was saying was that, like, at that time, when all that happened with George Floyd, crazy enough, this guy that I went to high school with, and I honestly can't remember his name. Honestly, I shouldn't say his name. But he had gotten arrested, and I think he, like, went into someone's home and, like, tried to shoot somebody, and, like, he was just, like, running around acting crazy, and, like, the cops pulled him out. Like, they showed up and they arrested him, and they put him against the cop car, and you can see a picture of the police officer, like, giving him water, and, like, obviously, like, I mean, we're gonna make it about race.
Pretty sure I saw that.
Yeah, and like we live in Tennessee. The majority of people here are white. I'm not even trying to make it a race thing. I don't like to make it a race thing, but it's like you can't not be realistic because at the end of the day, it's so real. And so I was just like looking at that. I was like, and how can you not compare those two things?
It should be more of a human thing rather than a race thing.
I'm like, at the end of the day, okay, I'm not even mad that y'all did that. Okay, maybe he was thirsty. Okay, cool, whatever. Like, yes, I might be annoyed by it, but it's like, if you're gonna do that, then treat everybody that way. Like, like, and it's not even just a racial thing at this point. It's literally a justice system issue. Like, it's just like police officers think that they just have so much authority, and like, I don't have a gun and I go outside and I do something and I'm the one who has to remain calm. You're the one who's armed and you're tripping out and you're like, do this and do all this stuff and you're yelling at me and I'm doing it. And then what? These people still get shot. They still get, like, it just is ridiculous. I don't know.
It is really ridiculous. But I don't want this whole episode to be heavy.
I just was
we started talking about kids and nonprofits and, you know, bullets.
All right, we gotta get onto some more lighthearted stuff.
Okay. We're trying to save the planet, you know, one person at a time. Someone else that was trying to save the planet. This woman who just ran topless at Prince Philip's funeral.
Not Prince Philip.
She was yelling, "Save the planet!"
Oh my god.
Due to COVID restrictions, only immediate family and friends were allowed to attend this funeral, but they did hold a ceremony, which many people gathered because, you know, it is the royal family. But
this is like the third cousin of like
just look at this picture.
Oh my god.
She's wearing for the people that are just listening on podcast platforms, it looks like she's wearing a crossing guard jacket.
Yeah. No, I think she must have just taken it from someone and like just like I'm grabbing the first thing to just kind of like
because I see no shirt in sight.
There's no shirt. Like there's oh my god.
But there's a lot of stomach.
What was the reason? She said that it was because of saving the planet. Is that what she's trying to get the attention for?
I have no idea. I don't know how
Just like, I have some great looking girls, and I think the world deserves to see this. I think that's...
the planet.
As she should. OnlyFans, she was like, this is her promoting her OnlyFans page, everybody. I love it.
Oh, man. Only British fans.
Right. She's like, this is like Duchess, Susan, third cousin off, like, since it was only family that can go, so...
Oh, Lord.
Prince Philip, this is for you. Oh my gosh.
Oh Lord. Okay. That's enough for that.
That's so funny. That's like, what were you thinking? I would do it maybe at like a soccer game, like if it really was a soccer team.
Yeah, really but this is a ceremony for a funeral.
What are you celebrating, sis? What's going on? Oh my gosh.
Okay. So, anytime I say the word Florida, nothing really good after it comes up.
You gotta prepare yourself. That's all.
So, I'm just gonna read the news article after I read the headline. So, a Florida woman was convinced that she saw a baby dinosaur running through her backyard. I'm not gonna play the video because I don't want it to get taken down.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
But the owner of the house said that she may have watched Jurassic Park way too many times.
Oh my gosh.
But she knows what she saw, and it was a raptor or a small dinosaur.
Oh my gosh. I don't even, honestly, anything can happen at this point. Honestly, I wouldn't even, it's like, it could be an alien loose, like, it could honestly be anything. Maybe I've watched too many movies, but I'm not saying she's right. Okay, okay, wait, one more time. That's maybe
to me seems like an ostrich, maybe a big chicken.
It could be like a peacock. You know how like peacocks have really long like.
Right.
I don't know. Like I don't know if I'm prepared to think that there's dinosaurs like around us. I'm not mentally prepared yet.
I feel like they would just be out and about though.
Right? Maybe it's alligators like getting like they're evolving. Or something. Maybe
Tell me more.
Legs. Maybe they're like growing legs or something. I don't know. It literally could be anything. I mean, or maybe like it's a dog that accidentally like was wrapped around something and like the back it like looks like No, but the way its hind legs look.
Look at how the thing was creeping.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like hopping. I don't know. Oh my gosh.
I just don't trust anything that people in Florida say.
Honestly, Florida needs to just be cut off. Go ahead and just start floating and be an island. Because if that's the case, we don't need. That's like the reason why I'm like, I want to travel, but I don't think I ever want to go to Australia. Australia has like weird animals and like huge spiders and like just things that could kill me. And I'm just like, yeah, I'm straight. It's an island it's an island continent. I don't care. It's over there by itself for a reason.
It's a disconnected continent.
Yeah, so that's what needs to happen in Florida because that's the dinosaur. We're not that far from. We're like 8 hours away for real.
I do want to, if you have them, we don't have to. I do know that you lost your phone whenever you went on your little cross country trip, but if you do happen to have any of the pictures that you took on your trip, I'd like to post them over the video. Just so y'all can see where she's been. And it's one of the reasons why I wanted her as a guest on the podcast. Just because...
there's so much to see.
Like, right. Like, the world is way too big for you to...
not want to...
stick in one place.
Exactly. I mean, and, like, I get wanting to be content. But, yeah, like, I don't know. There's just, like, so much in the world that... like, there's mountains and oceans and, like, hills and, I don't know, there's deserts. So I recommend everybody to kind of do that. But
just not Florida.
Just not Florida. Except for Miami. Miami's a great place.
Miami's okay, but it's close to the water. There's a lot of things in the water.
Are you scared of the ocean?
Yes, for sure.
I mean, I feel like everyone's a little bit scared of the ocean.
I'm going to post a screenshot of this person who... or these two people, they... went deep in the submarine. They went to the deepest part of the ocean that they found. And if somebody picked up the Eiffel Tower or picked up Mount Everest and put it underneath water, like they went further than that. Like from mount to ground, like ground zero.
Like from our highest point
to the top of Mount Everest, they went further underneath the water than that, and the light doesn't even reach down there.
So why are you down there? You can't even see.
You telling me you're not scared? Absolutely not.
There is so much of, again, like exploring. There's so much to see. Like, and so imagine like the ocean. I mean, that's one part I don't know if I'm fine not knowing what's down there. I mean, there's just already whales and whales are huge. Imagine like being in a boat. Like, I see people, like, videos of people being in, like, a canoe, or not a canoe, I don't know, there's no water, and, like, there's this huge whale, and I'm like, that whale can just, like, casually bump you, and you, like, flip over and, like, drown, I don't know, but it's, like, I'm sure there's other crazy stuff in the ocean, so.
There's no comparable land animal to a whale.
Nothing's gonna happen to you if you go to the ocean.
I promise you I'm not coming back.
I love the beach too much. I don't know.
The beach is fine. That's where,
He's like, I'll
sea
stand
meets
right
the
here.
land.
He's like, I'll be right here. Not getting in the water.
I need stability.
Would you ever go on like a cruise or anything?
It depends on how far, how long, where it's going.
There's like a little tremble in your voice. And like,
I know, because the Princess Diana, that's why COVID happened. The ship didn't even sink.
I mean, I guess this. Yeah, right. Oh my god. But yeah, I'll try and find some pictures, and like, I think I have some really good pictures of when we went across the country. I kind of like flew into San Francisco, and then we just drove all the way back, and it was honestly such a cool experience, just being able to see everything.
What states did you go through again?
We were in California, and then we went to Nevada. We went to Utah, Arkansas, Arizona, Texas, and I don't know. I think Oklahoma's up there, right?
Oklahoma's above Texas.
Okay, yeah, I think we did go through Oklahoma. I don't know. Honestly, I'm really bad at geography, but I know that we definitely went through the ones I just mentioned.
You had to.
Yeah.
At least one of the two.
But it was really nice. And I didn't know this, and maybe I'm just stupid, but when we went to Utah, I didn't realize how many, like, Mormons live there. Like, there's, like, a really large population of Mormons. City. Yeah, and so, like, when we were there, so, like, when we were in Vegas, we went swimming, we had, like, a pool day, and my friend has, like, a belly piercing, and it came out. And so, like, she found, like, the big part, so she put it back in, but, like, the part that she has to screw on, she couldn't find it. So she would, like, put, like, an eraser, like, some, like, ghetto crap. And so we were in Utah, and, like, every time we were going to, like, passing a gas station or making any stops, or we went to a restaurant or something, like, and they had, like, a little shop, like, she would be like, do you guys have, like, piercings? And every single person looked at her like she was crazy. And we were all like, what's going on? Like, if anything, we started taking it. It got to the point that we started taking it personally. We were like, okay, is it because, like, we're brown? Like, what's going on? And, like, I was just like, okay, there has to be a reason. And then this one lady she's like, I do want to, like, she asked her, she was like, why? I just want, honestly, like, every time we ask, like, people just look at us like we're crazy. And she was like, girl, like nobody, like, the last tattoo parlor is, like, not even nowhere near us. Like, there's no alcohol, nothing, like, for miles. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that was a thing. I mean,
I went to school with a Mormon, or she married a Mormon, so she eventually became Mormon.
Yeah.
And she was a little strange.
Yeah.
She was Hispanic, though.
For real?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It was she was a twin and she was Hispanic. There was a lot going on.
There was a lot on her plate. Goddamn. I mean, all right, sis. I mean, these still, what she not celebrate? Like, I don't think Mormons celebrate like any holidays. I hope she don't have a bowl cut. I honestly am not educated enough to like speak on religion, so.
I don't either. I have no idea.
That's interesting though. Hispanic Mormon. I'm sure that's more common than I think it is.
It's the only one I've met.
I've never met one though, so I can't. I will say that. Yeah, I don't think I've ever met it. I could be. I don't know.
The earth is big and vast, but this video has been circulating the internet. We were actually talking about it at work.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
so,
my God.
there was a man that was just having a normal suburban day.
It was Billy. Billy just chilling.
He was, he had his morning coffee. Right. He was getting his day going. Him and his wife. I don't know what they were doing, but it looked like they were having, a zippity doo dah day. A suburban bobcat came out of nowhere and attacked her.
What do you mean? Wait, hold on. A suburban bobcat. What do you mean? Like, is there a difference? Are suburban bobcats just hanging out? They're like, today I kind of just want, like, other than the wildcat, like the wild.
He was there for coffee. I've never seen a bobcat outside of a zoo.
I feel like bobcats are pretty common, like in Tennessee.
Let's see where it was, because
where was it? No, but go ahead and finish saying what exactly happened, because this is actually really.
It was in North Carolina.
I don't know. What was the bobcat doing over there? Was that she was carrying like a thing was it that she had one and it came out, or was it that it did just like? I have no idea.
She did not have it.
Yeah, there's no way. It acted crazy.
I could literally feel the tooth on my knuckle.
Because
I'm going to put the video below, but he literally held the bobcat up like a trophy and then chucked it across the yard.
Yeah, like Mufasa style. Like, it was like Simba. No, seriously, I saw it, and at first I was really confused as far as what was going on. Because, like, I didn't know, like, all I hear was her, like, going crazy, and, like, he starts going crazy. And I thought it had something to, because I saw it on TikTok, so I thought it had something to do with, like, the guy that was running past them. So I was like, oh, somebody's about to get hurt, or, like, I mean, which did happen, but, like, I thought it was going to be something stupid. And then I watched it again, and then it was like, yeah, it's a bobcat, and, like, she, like, you can hear it, and it's like, the guy just swings it, and, like, grabs it, and, like, manhandles it, throws it, and that cat, like, flips, and I was like, oh my God, the cat was like, hell no, ran away, like, that honestly was way too funny. That man was bold. Anybody else, I would have ran, bro.
And he not only picked it, but he walked with it. Like,
he
wanted to make sure that he was far away enough, like, in the grass.
He was, like, stomping, grounding himself, making sure he was more dominant.
Because if he threw it on that concrete and he slipped, it probably would have landed right on top of him. Yeah. It was pretty funny.
He was bold. I don't even know. I want to mess with him.
I don't want to talk about any of the other negative subjects just because we went so down right after we started talking about nonprofit. So we're gonna jump into the music moment. So this is where I or my guest, this case, both of us are going to give you 3 of our favorite songs that we're listening to right now that are in our rotation. So I'll let Monica go ahead first.
We can start with the classic. If you guys know Feel Good, Incorporated by Gorillaz. This is a great song to listen to. So throwback there. If you guys listen to like EDM, even if you don't get into like really heavy stuff, something that's a little bit more of like, I don't know, it's just a vibe, driving with your like windows down. It's called Hyper Real by Flume. I love Flume. And then, of course, because I'm Hispanic, I've been listening to Fiel by Los Legendarios. So that one's been, something I've been just putting on when I'm getting ready and like ready to turn up. So
I'm gonna spell it for everybody. I'm gonna put it on the screen. My 3 are gonna be Peaches by Justin Bieber featuring Daniel Caesar.
I love that.
Just because it's like a beach vibe song. Number
those
2
3 artists together just like was
right.
great.
Number 2 is Leave the Door Open by Bruno Mars and Anderson .Paak. They created their little Silk Sonic thing, and if you haven't heard the song, it's a song I'd make love to. I'll just put it that way.
I'm gonna like show up to your apartment and hear it. I'm like, oh, we gotta go.
Nope, sock on the door. Number 3, I actually just found this yesterday. The artist's name is Knxwledge, but it's spelled KNXWLEDGE. And the song is Minding My Business, but in between minding and my, there's an underscore. It's featuring an artist that I really like. His name is Duran Bernard. It's more of a... If you're not a person of color, you won't get it. I'll just put it that way. Like, it's a feel-good song, and literally he says in it that he's minding his black business. Weird. So, like... I don't know. That speaks to me.
Yeah, no, I know that. I like that.
So, that was a music moment. Now we're going to get into the final 4, where anytime I have a guest on, I ask them the same 4 questions. So, what is one habit that you're trying to break?
Oh, gosh. Okay. Oh, God. This is like gonna get deep. Or maybe it's, I don't know. Okay, one thing I'm trying to break is just like being overly like available to people, because I already have so much on my plate, and I'm just kind of trying to work on like keeping my energy and like saving that. And I constantly just want to like, whenever someone, even if I meet you and you tell me something, I'm like, oh, like maybe I can like get together and like we can do that. So I'm just like trying to break that habit of like
just saying no.
Yeah, I'm just saying no, and like trying to not always feel like I need to find a solution for someone else's issues.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. What's one thing that you are struggling with this week in particular?
I'm stupid, so I put off this paper. I mean, I've already started it and I've been doing research on it, but I definitely been slacking, and I just kind of hate myself because this is my last week of classes, and I am graduating in like a week. In a week. And so, but I still have like papers and stuff to do, and I kind of am really slacking on something. But this research paper, so I'm just a little bit stressed about that. But other than that, yeah, that's kind of my biggest struggle this week.
Just pick one, because I feel like you have a lot.
Oh,
What's one embarrassing thing that happened to you this month and or this year?
Oh gosh, embarrassing.
That you feel comfortable sharing.
Okay, wait. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yeah, I always have embarrassing moments, but I can't think of anything on top of my head. I feel like there's a lot at work. I feel like that. I always do something stupid. I'm like, God damn it. I really can't think of anything. My brain's like, I don't know. I really can't think of anything. Don't hate me.
No, that's fine. Most people can't answer that question. And the last one, what's one thing that you'd tell your 15-year-old self to do looking back on your life now? Because you're the only one that knows what you were thinking back then.
Oh, what I would tell, where was I when I was 15? What I would do differently?
Or
just something I would tell myself.
Yeah.
Just to kind of like trust the process, because I worried so much, and I'm just the kind of person who worries a lot. But just to kind of sit back and really enjoy life and love the people who do love me, and pay attention to that and cater to that, and that I am worth it, because I used to struggle with my own self-worth. So, yep.
Good. I hope that's a message for anybody listening.
Yes.
Thank you all for joining me on another episode of the Wave of the World podcast. Thank you, Monica, for being here. I know it was awkward at first, but you got to it.
Thank you.
You can go to jacobsbodega.com to buy any merchandise, patreon.com/Wave of the World to support the podcast. You get episodes early, discounts to merchandise, sneak peeks into things that are coming out. Please continue to like, share, subscribe, do all of the things. And we'll see you next time.